Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. You are watching the Paris Fintech Forum Community video interview series. I'm Elliott Gotkine, and today I'm joined by the Chief Digital Officer of BPI France, Julien Ribeyre. Great to have you with us.
Hi, Elliott. Happy to be here also.
Wonderful. Okay, so look, before we get cracking, we are going to learn what's new with BPI France. So, Julien, regular viewers will know that BPI France is a big friend of the show. The last time we had one of your colleagues on was a couple of years ago. And since then, of course, artificial intelligence, AI, seems to have taken over all conversations about everything, especially tech and fintech. So how is AI enabling you to transform the business of what is a French public investment bank designed to support entrepreneurs?
Yes. So first, maybe a few words on BPI France because 25 was a stunning year. It was a year of record activities for BPI France with over 21 billion euros injected in French economy, 2.5 billion in investment. So and despite a context really difficult in terms of budget, in terms of geopolitical also constraints. So all of that, basically with challenge of accelerating on AI was a kind of kickoff of something really new at BPI France. So AI is part of our daily work usually. We've got around 50% of our staff that are already trained on AI, and we in 25 already put some AI capabilities around all the different client parts and also staff parts on the ways they just can perform business. This is very difficult because we can see that AI is already on an actual basis on the way we can use it on personal agents. So we can see that there's personal skills that are developing on daily basis on people, and now we are trying to get the same level of pertinence on the way we perform business. So what I can say is that we have already tackled some the way we can just catch some clients on the business acquisition on client services. We have got some agents that are working on the way we can just qualify some leads, for example, and we are performing at this time some new ways of studying the loans, getting some better signals on the way we just perform risk assessments, for example.
So it sounds like AI is kind of, helping BPI France, I suppose, remain more relevant than ever. But I suppose there must also be some challenges. Does it in a way make your job harder or easier overall, or is it kind of net just as easy or difficult as it always was?
It makes it easier because, as I said, we have got so many documentation, so many information on French entrepreneurs. So it's the first time. I would say it's an help for everybody to get some documentation, to compare some information. On that point, it's an help. What is really difficult is to manage the implementation at scale in every processes of BPI France, because it's not so a problem of technology. I would say it's a problem of organization on the way we can just tackle the processes and not just put some AI tools on top of complexity. This is a real challenge that we have currently at BPI France. Yeah.
And so if we look into your crystal ball, if we can, say to 2030, which I know is not that far away, how different or in what way will BPI France be different from the way that it operates, from the way it interacts with entrepreneurs in France, compared with today?
I think there are two relevant challenges that we want to perform in 2030. The first one is the way we can just deliver banking and investment experience in France. As you saw it, I think some actors like OpenAI and especially Anthropic are developing some new technologies, some MCP servers that just make collapse the world of the SaaS or the world of the I would say, the interface as we know it, actually. So I do think that in 2030, we'll be in a world where the banking experience will start really early in upstream in the AI agents. So we have to be prepared with that, because our commodities, our data, our scoring models will have to be really easy to be accessed by some AI agents. So it's the first step. The second one is that it's a radical transformation in the way we just manage our processes. So we have to think about new processes, not put some AI capabilities in actual processes, but rethink really processes through AI first, and then see where we can just put some human in the loop to perform our mission.
So we've heard about BPI France. Let's now get to know Julien a little bit better. So, Julien, I think you once upon a time in a previous role described yourself as a kind of Swiss Army knife officer. I assume you didn't mean that you can open cans of tuna or uncork bottles of wine with your fingers. Is this just talking about your kind of versatility? Is that how you would describe yourself?
Yes, I would say undefined as Swiss knife army officer. That was the word, in fact, because in fact it makes 8 years I'm in BPI France. I was the first employee of the digital department, so I was in fact a kind of right hand of my former CDO. So my job was to perform. Management of the teams on the, I would say, the business side, on the relationship between the different departments of BPI France, on the finance, on the purchasing, relation with partners. So I get many knowledge in 8 years on the way we can just perform digital strategy at BPI France, and now I'm in charge. So it's a pleasure for me to just give my own way with the team that I know really well on the next level of AI at scale at BPI France.
Obviously, congratulations. It's obviously great to be kind of in charge now. But I suppose with with that level of responsibility, it can get a little bit stressful. So, I mean, what keeps you awake at night, and what makes you leap out of bed in the morning, excited to take on another day?
Well, the moment that we are living is just incredible. I think I have never lived this kind of revolution. Well, I know internet. I've performed my studies with internet and my work with internet, and now we've just discovered I would say, all the new power that is provided by AI and agents. And we've got many people, many companies in France, or organization also, that is waiting so much thing about AI. And I know that I've got this responsibility and also this power with all the digital teams to make it possible, in fact, in BPI France. So every morning, yes, there is a lot of ambition, but also of pressure to manage it. But this is what keeps me alive and wants to get to the next level, in fact. Yeah.
I suppose what also keeps you alive is your kind of triathlon training, although that to other people might do the reverse. I mean, tell me about, first of all, how do you have the time to do that? And second of all, does the kind of mentality that you need and the dedication that is required to train in order to do a triathlon, is that something that we could perhaps see something that has been taken from your working life into your non-working life?
Yeah, I think my 40 years was the year of my best challenge best challenges in my life. Yes, I decided to start this new position, really exigent position, and try a new challenge as triathlon. So, in fact, I need sports to be best in class at work anyway. So the main constraint is the time, but anyway, we always can find time when we have to relive some challenges. So it was my year of a new job and my year of my first triathlon, and I want to do some others. But when I see all the job and the challenges that we have to perform on AI, I have to be really well organized to perform that on 26.
All right, so look, Julien, a key part of this interview is to get your take on the future of finance. But first, we are going to take a very quick break, after which we're going to continue our conversation with Julien Ribeyre, the Chief Digital Officer of BPI France. Welcome back, and don't forget, if you're not already a full member of our community, everything you need to join can be found at www.parisfintechforum.com. Okay, so now, Julien, let's talk about the future of finance. So, Julien, look, we knew AI was going to be disruptive, but earlier in February, we saw investors getting very concerned about how some of these giant AI companies like Anthropic were potentially going to eat software and data companies' lunch. Do you think they are going to do that, or do software and data companies still have an edge in their particular areas of expertise, and in the end they'll be all right?
Well, I think that we are assisting to a kind of disruption. It's obvious, but we have to keep in mind that when digital platform just been provided a few years ago, we didn't kill the I would say the branches. We did the public relationship on physical way. So I think it's a new channel. Of course, but it's channel that is going to be more and more powerful because there is something that is different before in the past. It's the way AI and AI agents are personalized. They know everything about our lives. So disruption because we will not leave, I think, one word to be opposed to another one. I think that, yes, some trends like what we saw with Anthropic lately will bring some new standards of personalization and on the way we can just interact, in the way we can just get a loan, build a trip. So it will force some incumbents to be better on that way and just take advantages on their client basis. In fact, to be innovative. In fact,
and of course, a lot of the focus has been on the giant AI companies in Silicon Valley, whether it's OpenAI or Anthropic. Of course, Europe has Mistral in France. I mean, I'm just wondering that if European AI companies like Mistral, for example, can compete, or if they have to kind of find their own niche in order to succeed in this brave new AI-driven world.
Yes, really, I think so, because when you see at this age, the landscape of AI, yes, of course, there are some hyperscalers. We have got some OpenAIs and Anthropic that are really placed, and even Gemini with Google lately. But I would say that they are really stuck on personal use at this time. Mistral can be really relevant, and that's the the case at this time on professional use cases, and it is a way that we are working with them. In fact, so we are currently working on implementation of Mistral at scale in BPI France, because we truly think that they can just help us perform some, I would say, business efficiency in our processes, and they can be really accurate on that. So yes, I think it's totally possible for Mistral to be best in class in this run.
And we talked earlier about BPI France adopting AI and using AI, particularly in your under your kind of purview for the moment. I mean, how would you say that French financial institutions and fintechs are faring in terms of the adoption of AI? Would you say that they are early adopters, that they're kind of in the vanguard? Are they falling behind, or are they pretty much where they should be?
Well, I think they are pretty good at this point, because I often say that the best adoption is the adoption that you don't perform with training. So what is really striking with fintechs is that the way they can just provide some great and really simple products. When you don't need any documentation to perform, I would say, a customer journey, it's already a win. So when you see some great fintechs, and sorry if I don't give all the name, but like Conto, for example, or Penny Lane, if I just give their name, then they can already take some AI capacities in the customer journey. And this is stunning, because this is what challenges like traditional banks, and that shows that they can be really, really, really relevant on the way to perform some business performance on customer journey. So yes, they are on the stage.
And is it just the kind of the boring stuff that's being kind of revolutionized by AI, kind of the back office stuff and the processes, the things that we don't necessarily see or touch? Or are you expecting great changes in terms of products and the way that AI agents will effectively, carry out everything we need for our financial lives without us having to do anything with it? Is it those kind of exciting things that you would expect AI to have an impact on in terms of the financial industry and fintech? Or is it really just going to be the kind of boring stuff that everything becomes more efficient and faster and better?
I think it's just the most important challenge for a traditional bank, because when you see a bank, you see, when you see on the field the people that are working in the branches on the bank management systems, they are working around sometimes 5, 10, 15 different systems at the same time, just to perform some simple actions. It's because it's the way we just build some systems in traditional bank based on processes that are usually difficult to move. I think we are going through an incredible moment to just think about different processes. What do we have performed as a problem solving in business of entrepreneurs, to think about how we can just reshape the process from scratch by just thinking about what we have as AI capabilities, and I think it's the most relevant part that we can perform with AI today. So we need some product approach, of course, because we need some simplicity. We have to ask a good question to the business, and we have to think really differently on the way we just perform some new solutions. So it's kind of revolution on terms of technology, but also in terms of methods that we have to implement.
And I mean, in this world of geopolitical tensions, competition for resources, tariffs, does finance still need to think about sustainability, the environment, having a positive impact on society? When BPI France deals with entrepreneurs, is that still something that you, I wouldn't say necessarily care about, but something that's really important for them to have? Or is this now, no longer so important because it's just kind of out of vogue?
Yeah, it's a really good question, because I would say past 3 years, 4 years, we are talking about decarbonization. We had some massive impact at BPI France on the way we can just deliver some loans and deliver some diagnosis for French entrepreneurs, and the way we get some I would say budgets, also constraints, geopolitical issues as you mentioned it. We can and AI that is just also a kind of really big question on the way we can just use it on a responsible way. We can think that climate is dead, and that's a real big issue for us. So no, it's not an issue. We just going on performing some massive impacts on the way we just finance enterprise in Europe, in France, and in Europe on climate action, and our reflection as a digital department is to not to use AI massively, is to use AI on a responsively way, in fact. So when we don't need it, we don't use it. If we have to just use automation without AI, we just perform this kind of reflection. So this is kind of education that we have to provide to our people, to our staff also. So we have to learn how to make some innovation AI with, I would say, climate constraints and interest on top of that. So it's totally possible, and we have to do it.
And whenever we're talking with European technology companies or companies related to European technology, we obviously have to touch upon regulation. Would you say that regulators are making it easier or harder for European fintechs and financial institutions to compete, whether it's with the US or Asia or anywhere else?
Well, in Europe, we usually say that regulation is really complex. It's not a new idea, of course. From business trips in the US, in ASEAN, in former in 25, yes, you can see that there is more capacity to grow fast with sometimes regulation that is directly aside the different fintechs and innovation ecosystem. For example, in Singapore, when you see the MAS, the Monetary Authority of Singapore, that is performing just a sandbox to help innovation in Singapore, it's just something that I would be really happy to get in Europe, in fact. So in Europe, we don't have this kind of collaboration anyway. The job of the fintechs and the job of the traditional banks is to make sure that we can just get some innovation with the regulators. This is what we perform actually at BPI France, meaning that anyway, at each time we want to try something new, we just discuss with compliance first. And it is a kind of digital transformation, cultural transformation also with them. And I think that we can do it together. And it's even a strength, because if we do it together by design, we will do it better at scale, because we will have already the different question on the way we can protect our skills, or our staff and people on the market also.
Okay, wonderful. So look, it's time now for our round of rapid fire questions. Okay, so I'm going to put 90 seconds on the clock, and we're going to try and get through as many of them as we possibly can. And when the alarm goes off, then we will stop. We'll let you answer that question and then we'll stop. But just one word answers is all I'm after. So I'm going to start the clock and away we go. What fintech segment has the biggest potential, in your view, over the next 5 years?
Payments.
What is the biggest pain point in your everyday financial life that you would like to see resolved?
Onboarding.
Are bank bosses ready for the AI revolution?
Sorry, can you repeat the question? Sorry.
Are bank bosses, are the bosses of banks, the chiefs of the banks, are they ready for the AI revolution?
Yes.
Are customers ready for the AI revolution?
Obviously, yes.
Have regulators in Europe and in America kept pace with all the new possibilities and behaviors we are seeing in the financial industry?
I would say more and more in the future. Yeah.
So is that a yes or a no?
Yes.
Okay. Have you personally ever invested in crypto?
Yes.
Are physical points of sales part of the future of finance?
Sorry, can you repeat the question? Sorry.
Are physical points of sales where you pay at the kind of cash register or whatever at a shop, are they part of the future of finance?
Yes, of course. Yes, sir.
Are bank branches part of the future of finance?
Yes, always. Yeah.
Okay. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 the most likely, 1 the least likely, how likely is it that one of the neobanks will be as profitable as a top-tier legacy bank in the next 10 years, between 1 and 10?
I would say 8.
Okay. That central bank digital currencies will become we'll finish this question. That central bank digital currencies will become a mainstream reality in the US or EU CBDCs in the next 10 years, between 1 and 10?
I would say 6.
6. Okay. Well, Julien, I'm afraid we are out of time for our round of rapid fire questions and out of time for our conversation. So I really just want to thank you, Julien Ribeyre, Chief Digital Officer of BPI France, for joining me today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Elliott. Nice to meet you.
And for everyone watching, we will be back again next time with another big name from the world of finance and technology. We do hope you'll be able to join us again then. In the meantime, don't forget to subscribe to the Paris Fintech Forum YouTube channel and to follow us on X at Paris Fin Forum. That's all for now. See you next time. Bye-bye.